So today on my quick and easy recipes, I am going to make chicken dumplings. We have, to make the dumplings, the ingredients, the flour, which is in the blue bucket in the back. We have baking powder, any brand. We have salt, sugar, shortening, eggs, and that's what we make the bread dough with. Now, back here, what I'm showing you is I've already prepared the vegetables. The bouillon is here, and I've got the chicken cut and diced right there. We're going to do that cooking outside because it's a beautiful day. I'm going to use a Dutch oven. You can see the Dutch oven sitting in the background there. That's what we will cook with. So coming back, I've already pre-measured everything, so we should be able to move quite quickly through this. The first thing we want to do, I've pre-measured all the dry ingredients in the bowl, and so now it's just a matter of putting the shortening in and cutting the shortening into the mixture. And you can see that the shortening is sticking to the spoon, but we'll get it. I've carefully washed my hands with soap and water, especially with the coronavirus. As I tell my children, wash like a surgeon. So we've done that, and now we're cutting in the shortening into the flour mixture with all of the other dry ingredients. This goes fairly quickly. When I make my meals, or my wife makes meals sometimes, whoever's cooking that day, we make quite a bit of food. We have, we had 6 children. Some of them are married, and we have grandchildren that may come. We have some that are living elsewhere, but we still have a fairly large contingency of people at our home. And it's been a joy for us. All right, we've got that cut in. The next is to take 2 eggs and beat them well. So I'm going to take my eggs off the side here, crack them into this mixing bowl. And I'll mix them in. You're going to notice that this is very similar to the baking powder biscuits that we built the other day. Alright, I've beat the eggs sufficiently there. And I will get the milk out of the fridge. Now this recipe is the exact same, like I said, very similar recipe to the baking powder biscuits that I have put on. The only difference in the recipe is the amount of milk that we put in. The reason being, we put a little more milk in this recipe because we want the dough to be a lot more moist. So it's going to be a very sticky dough. And once I get this mixed in, we will go outside and start cooking. Now, I know a lot of modern recipes, just cookbooks, would say to take a product like Bisquick or something. I know there's several different pre-made pre-mixtures. I always find them not to be as flavorful. And so I don't like to do them, and when it's as easy as it is to just measure out flour, sugar, baking soda, and salt, it's, you know, it's not that hard to do, so we do that. Anyway, just a minute. Okay, so for the chicken soup base, like I said, I've already got some chicken here and I've cut it up, and we don't, in our home, use a lot of chicken or a lot of meat of any kind, really. It's not our style. We've gotten away from eating a lot. We use meat maybe once or twice a week, just a little bit to spice up add flavor to our dish. I need to make a little bit of soup stock, and here I've already have the beans, onions, carrots, corn, peas, all of the vegetables that I want. There's some peppers, bell peppers and jalapenos, both. And so we're going to make the soup stock. Now there's all kinds of different soup stock that you can have. I like this brand, but it doesn't matter. You can buy bouillon cubes, you can buy canned soup stock that's already built, or this one. And I'm using a roasted garlic base this time. And the lid right here will also tell you that 1 teaspoon, gotta get the glare off of that, yeah, 1 teaspoon equals 1 bouillon cube, which is the same as an 8-ounce can of broth. So we know we want to mix this 1 teaspoon for 8 ounces of water. I was just checking the label on the back, and I know that we're going to be doing, well, maybe 4 or 5 cups, so that should be about 3 of the teaspoons. I'm just going to set that in right here, because when I add the water to it, it will go ahead and dissolve into the solution. Go. I'll add another 2 cups when we get out to start cooking. We're ready to go outside. We'll sear the chicken so that it holds the juices and the moisture in the Dutch oven, and then we will start the pot of broth or the soup going, and then we will add the dumplings on top later. Okay, we're outside. It's a little windy, so I've put the mic in the quietest place I could find. Hopefully that's good enough. We have the Dutch oven warmed up, and we are ready to put the chicken in. I've given the chicken a little bit of spice just to kind of give it some flavor. We're going to go ahead and just kind of season the chicken in. We'll brown it up, cook it well, and we'll add the soup stock. Still a little piece right there. It's fairly close. You always know when the chicken is cooked because you can take a piece. I'm choosing one of the bigger ones, and you push a spatula down into it. And when you pull it open, you'll see that it's become stringy. It'll chip apart. You can see on this one how it's becoming stringy. So you know the chicken is cooked when it becomes stringy instead of kind of a jelly. All right, we're going to put the soup stock in. Okay, I poured the soup stock in. One of the advantages of the cast iron is it gets warm. You notice I put the soup in, and it's within seconds of when I put it in, you're seeing that there's a boiling action already, because the cast iron holds the heat and spreads it out evenly. It's starting to cool down. I'm going to add just a little more liquid to it and bring that up to a light boil. We've got the soup going. I've added just enough liquid to make sure that there's sufficient for the dumpling to float on top. And we're ready to start adding the dumplings. We got a light little boil started, and that's all we want. We don't want it to boil hard. I will be turning the heat down if it gets to boil too hard. Now to put the dumplings in, the dough that we built is right here. Just take a little spoonful and just drop it in. And it's not dropping in like I want it to. There we go. Part of the reason why I'm using this oven is so that I can have a very large surface on the top of the liquid to put as many dumplings on there as I can. My family loves dumplings. They'll eat these up like they're candy. And not having enough is a disaster. Now, I did not add any thickening to the liquid, the stew, and I did that in part because the dumpling will be giving off a little bit of a flour mixture. Some of it will diffuse off of the bread dough at this moment, and when it does, it will go into the liquid and create a thickening of its own. So this will be a nice thick stew when it comes out. Put a lid on it, and we'll go set the timer, and we'll see you when it's cooked. It's been 10 minutes. That's what they said to wait, was 10 minutes. So we're going to lift the lid off and take a look at our nice food. It is ready to eat. There you go. Look at that. Boiling a little too hard because I can't control the gas. If I turn the gas down anymore out here with the wind that's blowing, it puts my fire out. So it's boiling just a little too hard. Other than that, a good meal ready to go.